Amidst Melbourne's bustling arts precinct, a grand metamorphosis is taking place. Arts Center Melbourne is embracing the future and undergoing a major redevelopment. Reimagining Arts Centre Melbourne is part of the Melbourne Arts Precinct Transformation, which is the largest cultural infrastructure project in Australia's history. As we witness this transformation, I find myself reflecting on the delicate balance between preservation and innovation. I'm here in the Playhouse with Karen Quinlan, CEO of Arts Centre Melbourne. Karen, welcome to your own theatre.
It's a pleasure.
Why do you think Victorians or Melburnians embrace the arts so much?
I think it's a big part of life. It's a place where you can connect with other people enjoying the same thing. And there's a feeling you get from being in an audience, the anticipation.
Why is it important to reimagine the building and what will we see out of it?
We want it to look the same, to be honest, because we want to preserve the history. 40 years ago, the technology was different. Accessibility wasn't high on the list in terms of the architect's brief, I suppose. But these days, we know and recognise that this is a space for everyone, and everyone should be welcome and feel that they can access the same as everyone else.
The State Theatre upgrades will introduce wheelchair-accessible seating in the stalls, and new lifts and aisles will assist visitors with mobility challenges. Acoustic upgrades will improve the experience for everyone.
For the industry, it's about providing a new studio rehearsal space adjacent to the stage. We have a new loading area with truck lifts and, better accessibility at the back, which isn't something anyone will see, but it's really important.
It's incredibly important for people to know that theatres aren't closed completely.
Correct. We are open.
But throw in the intricate process of conservation and tackling it while continuing to stage performances all throughout construction puts a whole new spin on the phrase, the show must go on. Hamish Lyon is a director of NH Architecture, the firm leading on the redevelopment's design. Hamish, how hard is it to strike the balance between heritage and also having a modern theatre?
Look, that is probably the biggest challenge of the project. We've had 40 years of great service from the State Theatre. We want to make it fit for purpose for the next 40 years. When you walk in the door, it's that sort of visceral reaction to the raspberry red. It's like, whoa, John Truscott's interiors are really striking. And the gold ceiling that we're looking at here, again, between the gold ceiling and the raspberry red, it's an immersive experience. So in thinking about how we worked with that, we had to be careful to make sure we retained the important heritage elements, but we did bring up to speed some of the new components. So we are keeping, of course, the famous Lyrebird curtain. It's fully intact, so it will return in full. We're also keeping a lot of the gold ceiling, and in fact we are bringing in a little bit of new gold leaf. And on an interesting story, the gentleman that did the original gold leaf on some of the ceilings here is still in operation. In fact, he'll be doing the new work itself. We really are keeping the John Truscott interior in its full glory. That's our great ambition.
These updates not only enhance the building's functionality, but also its role as a civic space. Arts Centre Melbourne continues to be a place where people come together to experience the best of the performing arts. Jel Garner is the Victorian government architect and is an advocate for the power of architecture and design to shape our community.
As a child growing up in Melbourne in the 60s, this was 60s, 70s, even 80s. This was, well, we've got ourselves an arts precinct. We're sitting right on the doorstep to Melbourne. It's the Southern Gateway. Swanston Street is the busiest tram corridor in the world. This precinct hosts 3 amazing buildings, and each of those buildings has got its own persona. As a group, they work together in an incredibly important cultural facility. I always think architecture is it's as important as the art, really. I think, to design a great container for the art that's taking place, whether it's performing art or visual art. The building is memorable. The building is the icon that sits in the city forever, hopefully, and a good piece of civic architecture will actually just become a really proud moment in its city.
Amidst its transformation, after 40 years, Arts Centre Melbourne and its extraordinary theatres building stand as a testament to history and modernity. a living monument to creativity and community. It's the people of Victoria who are the final piece of its grand narrative. A timeless icon of art and architecture with a bright future ahead.